So I'm doing a ISSA, International Scissor Sharpeners Association, evaluation on these shears. And I'm seeing something today that I have never seen before. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. I need your feedback on this. So I'm hoping you'll continue to watch and see some of this interesting stuff. So I'm Bonnie McGowan, and what right do I have to judge someone else's sharpening? Well, I have some pretty good credentials. I've been sharpening and teaching sharpening for about 3 decades now. And I've trained in the factory, but more than that, I've worked with other sharpeners from all over the country, all over the world, and learning from them because it's the individual sharpeners out there. And then I do this evaluation. I damage the shears. I send them out. And you're going to see the damage today right close up because I have something special to show you. And I send out a written test. Now I have 2 sets of ISSAs that came in, and I give them numbers. And I want you to put in the comments which number you think is the better of the 2 that I'm evaluating today. And I have a reason for that. Because one of the people, and I've never had this done before, usually they'll send in maybe a sheet with a note on it. This person sent in almost a book. Let's see, how many pages is it? 12 of 12. Yeah, 12 pages on kind of cardstock. I'm going to cover up the name because he's got the name of his business on here. And I'm going to show you what all he sent me. And then he sent me his shears to look at. And then then I have another set of shears. So I'm not going to tell you what his number is. So you're going to look through here and see how you would be at evaluating shear sharpening. There's Misty. Say hello, Misty. What is it you want?
I said 12 pages, and
I don't know if he's failed. I don't know if he's failed. I'm just going to look at it. Yeah.
But I didn't say he did.
We don't know. I haven't looked at them. I don't know if they failed or not. But I will admit that looking at the other person that didn't send me 12 pages and this one, see if you can tell the one. I'm going to let Misty look at it. Here. Tell me which one you think is the better looking one without cutting. We're not cutting. We're just looking at the blades. Because what I'm looking for is I send out a beveled edge and a convex. And I'm looking to see if the bevel looks bevel, if the convex looks convex, looking at the rod line. So it's all, to begin with, it's just what I'm seeing. And then we actually cut with them. So can you see the difference in the 2?
Well, yeah. I mean, one of them, they took a lot of metal off. The blade is a lot thinner.
Yeah. Well, it's possible only this one that's a lot thinner is the only one that cuts of the 2. But I do damage them all the same. And mostly.
Yeah. The same process, yes.
Yeah. When we send them out, they're damaged the same. Sometimes when people are here.
Mail, no telling what happens in the mail.
Well, that's true. No telling what happens in the mail. But sometimes when people are here and I just trained them, I might put a little bit more damage on them just for the fun of it. Because I know I'm here to help them and they'll
eventually pass.
Yeah, they'll eventually pass without having to mail them back and forth. And all of these people will probably eventually pass because I'll mail them back and forth as many times as they want to try it. So my numbers are 319151, 319081. So we've got an 81 and a 51. So the one I told you sent me 12 pages. What are these 12 pages? Let's look at them. It's kind of interesting. I got to cover up the name on it. So undoubtedly he does a lot of mail order, and he's got these nice forms with the name of the shears and what kind of service and what came with it. So I mean, this is nice. Then the next page, I want to show you what he wrote. He did a whole evaluation about how he sharpened it, what he used. His background is sharpening knives, which using Japanese stones, and then he moved to Tormek, and he had an Okami Gold, and now he's just recently started the Simek. He talks about what he saw in the Diane shears, and then what he saw in the Convex Edge shears. He did say, if they do not pass, I can go back to the Nanawa Standard 1000, then to my Arishima 3000 again, but I do believe they'll be fine as is. Overall, it looks easy. It's not. Probably the first time you get to see digital micrographs of the damage you inflict on the shears. It's substantial. Was not expecting that. They were like the last pair of Olivia Gardens I got, which were sharpened on a brick. Yes, I did restore them in new condition as well. I do appreciate what you do for the sharpening community. Thank you. And putting your experience out there. Couldn't have done anything without that help. Very busy, but I still plan on more training. Probably advanced if I pass. So, what he's got on these next pages, well, that one's a blank one, so we won't count that. So I guess 11 pages. This is page 4, and he's got a picture of the Diane shears and the damage he saw, which is kind of interesting. And I do have a microscope. I mean, I could take pictures like this. I used to get real excited about taking microscopic pictures, and other people were doing it. And I find most of the time it just slows me down. This thing for looking at it through here, which is 10 times as much, is sufficient. But this is showing the damage, which is kind of interesting. This is on the Dianes. Actually, I just hit the two blades together for the convex and the bevel, and they both create nicks on the others. And then when they close, and that was a pretty big damage, but it's not really beyond the... oh, this is the Diane shear again. That's the beveled edge. And then this is the convex. And you see the big gouge here, but it's not beyond the ride line. There's the ride line. These are pretty nice pictures he's got here. I wonder if he sends these to everybody he sharpens for. There's the damage on the edge here. And there's the damage here. But you see it's not beyond the ride line. It's right along the edge. Convex edge shears. Edge damage. More edge damage. Just kind of a little raggedy. Because I do go over. I'm putting nicks in them, and then I kind of round them off with like a file, like a coarse fingernail file. Some more. He's got all these nice pictures. And... there's the ride line, but doesn't look like he took pictures of them after his sharpening. Let's go through these shears, and let's compare the bevel edge first. So, on both of them, they left a serration, which is what I typically would assume they would do. And both of them, I'm looking to see whether we have a good, clean, consistent bevel. They look good except for number, which one is this one? 81. Looks like maybe that tip might have a little bit of issue. But we'll see how. I'm running my nail down there. I'm not feeling any nicks in either one of them. So let's see how they cut. So this is the really thin tissue. And this International Scissor Sharpeners Association, it's a lifetime membership. Whether you pass or not, you're a member. And you get a nice ID card. But if you pass the certification, you get a certificate that you're certified. And it's more for your benefit to know if you've done a good job. Now both of these cut dry. Let's see if they cut wet. And we'll test them on hair. And if so, both the beveled edges will have passed. Did I mention the written test? Both people that sent these to me, the written test is all the answers were correct. And that cut's wet. On these beveled edges, I'm not too concerned at how, how well they cut in the wet tissue. That one I was a little worried about the tip, but that tip cut fine. Let's see how they cut hair. And mostly I'm just worried about the tip, whether it's cutting crisply. Oh, I thought it was pulling. That tip felt funny. Let me test it on something else. This is rabbit fur. You see? Yeah. That tip pulls if they cut somebody with fine hair. Sometimes it pulls. Sometimes it doesn't. Just that one pull. There we go. I made it pull a little bit. And that's exactly what I saw on here. So this, I kind of detected this before we even cut. There's something. I don't think you got a burr right there at the tip. So when I turn it back and forth, you see that little sparkle right there at the tip? That looks like to me like maybe they didn't get a burr all the way to the tip. I don't know if I want to say, these are close to, it's something just not cutting good at that tip. It's not pushing. It's just like it takes more effort at the tip. I'm going to say they both pass, but this one passes reluctantly. This is number 81. It's like if I was teaching again, like I used to teach high school science, I'd say that would be a C. I think you could work on that a little bit more. So now the convex edges, that's the key ones. So this is number 51 and this is number 81. I'm looking to see if they look convexy and if there's a rod line. Okay, so here's what I see first of all. They both look convex, but can you see, and I'm going to try to hold it with this black behind me. Can you see how that blade has followed the radius that was there originally? And then this one has like a dip, high, and a dip. It's a little bit of a wave. You see it goes in, out, in. Also, look at this rod line. That's not pretty at all. I know it's a little bit thinner here, but there's a rod line all the way down. I'll let you look at it with a magnifier. So this one is number 81. See that rod line? It's consistent all the way down. This is number 51. See that rod line pretty much disappears. Let's see what it looks like on the other side. Yeah, same thing. Look at here. See that rod line, you got a rod line there, but then as you go down, it's pretty much gone. You see that? I'm not liking the way this one looks. This one looks fine. I'm running my nail down here. The nicks are gone. Nicks are gone. So both of them, the nicks are gone. Let's see how they cut. We're going to start out with dry tissue. then wet, and then hair. So dry tissue. Now if you notice when I'm testing them on this tissue, I'm pulling my thumb out. I'm holding them with these 4 fingers, pulling my thumb out, and just the least pressure possible closing. And that cut dry perfectly. Pulling my thumb out, you see that? And they look like they're both adjusted correctly. And least pressure possible. So they both cut dry. Let's see how they cut wet. Least pressure possible. This is number 51. Cuts wet fine. This is number 81. Well, they both cut wet. Even though this one's a little bit wavy. I'm a little bit concerned about it. Let me test it again. $51. A little bit of a pull. 81. No. Now, coming down this way, it's cutting fine. Well, not perfectly. Coming in here, it's not cutting from coming in there. And then this one pulled a little bit at the tip. Oh, I see why it pulled at the tip. Looks like the same issue on this one that I saw on the beveled edge. This blade is fine. This blade is fine. It's this front blade that's got an issue, and I'm going to let you see it. Can you see it sort of dips down a little bit at that tip? It might be almost easier to see it just here against the black. It's sort of like there's a... And I'm thinking when he's bringing it across, there's a little bit of a lift up. Whether he's, I don't know what machine he's got or if he's upright, but if he's coming in here, when he gets here, he's lifting up too much. Does that make sense? So let's say your machine's upright, and when you get here, you lift up too much. And that's the same thing I saw on the bevel edge. I think he's taking, I mean, it's just minuscule, but it's a little bit off the tip. Let's see how they cut hair. So, number 1, this is number 51. Nice crisp cut. 51 has a nice crisp cut. Let's see, this is number 81. Thumbs out. Nice crisp cut. I'm going to see if it's sharp. It'll slide cut. Yes, that'll slide cut. This slide's cut. So they're both sharp. They're both convex. So I'm trying to decide. So both of these are tolerable. Both of these would keep your customers happy, I think. Oh, wait a minute. So this is number 51. There's a gap at the tip. There's a gap at the tip. Let me let you see it. Can't let it pass with a gap at the tip. It's teensy, but there is a gap. That's why it was pulling when we cut the wet. Yeah, it just pulled that time. That's why it's pulling. You see that? And they can shorten it. That probably would fix it. There's really, I think he probably took something off the bumper here. Yeah, that bumper looks a little shorter. Number 51, I'm not going to pass because the tip was pulling on the beveled edge. And number 51 has a gap at the tip. It has the wavy blade. It kind of, it has the poor ride line. So 51, these need to go back. He has not passed. It was kind of iffy, but then when I saw the gap at the tip, it's like, oh yeah, they're going back. But his ride line is not there. His blade is wavy, and there's a gap at the tip. And it pulled at the tip. The beveled edge, I can let that one go as passing. Beveled edge, it pulls a little bit on the rabbit fur. But beveled edge passes on 51, but the convex does not. On number 81, it'll cut going this way. When I hold it sideways, it doesn't cut. You see that? So, and most of the time your stylists are cutting like this. Let's see how that cuts. Cuts rabbit fur good. Cuts hair good. Looks good. But this was the one the beveled edge was pulling. So I'm going to say 81 did not pass either. Their beveled edge did not pass because it was pulling. And I think the convex edge could be a little bit better. It may just need a nail buffer. When I run my nail down here, I still feel a little bit of a nick here. And that may be what's catching it. I feel it on this blade. But the ride line looks good. It looks convexy. And if I'm going to send it back for this one, let's see if he can do 81 a little bit better. So I'm going to say neither one of these passed. All of them would be good enough for a hairstylist and that they would feel comfortable with it. But I'm going to say neither one of them passed. So now which one sent me the 12 pages and all the little close-up microscope pictures? I'm going to put that in the description. You got to click and look down below. But before you look at the description, put which one you think in the comments that sent me the 12 pages before of the microscope pictures that of the shears and the evaluation and the pages on it. Which one of these numbers you think sent me that? So I hope this was helpful to you if you are thinking of becoming a sharpener or if you're already a sharpener. There's little nuances, and what I detected on the one that's wavy, I would venture to guess that either they're using a twice as sharp or they have been using a twice as sharp and have just recently gone to a flat hump. Because I know I had someone I trained last week, and he did pass his ISSA, but he did his certification here. So I didn't videotape it. But that's exactly the way his shears looked first time, till he went back to it with that wavy. Because they're used to, with a twice as sharp, pulling it across. And that type of pulling across creates that wave to it. So I hope this was helpful to you. If you want to do the certification, there'll also be some links below in the description. And have more videos besides the ones on my Benika Shears channel and this ISSA channel at Patreon. So you may want to check that out. And then I also have, occasionally I have tune-up clinics. And those are for people who've already been sharpening on a flat hone. And I'll be having one in the next couple of months. So make sure you check on my website about when the next tune-up clinic is, or if you want to come for private training. And once again, I'm Bonnie McGowan. I hope that was helpful to you. And put your comment below. Who do you think sent me the 12-page document?